What do things like Freemasonry and secret societies have to do with Kabbalah?
Well, I don't know. All I know is this. Throughout human history, Kabbalah, has had a 3,500 years of history. It came from ancient Babylon. And many teachings and views and all kinds of methods wanted to connect themselves, to tie themselves with Kabbalah, because nobody knows what Kabbalah is. But they all want to say that they're borrowing from it, that they're drawing their sources from it, and then from that they evolved. Freemasons are the same, and the same applies to other teachings. The question is this: do these people have a source of power that is beyond our nature, that can change them and bring them to the opposite degree from the current one? Now they're all egoistic, just like everyone else, born in our world, only thinking about how to use the world. Do they have the strength to invert themselves, or is it only imagination?
A lot of the principles of these secret societies are to unite around sharing these secret methods to control the world. I'm not going to control nature, control the forces of nature, control the systems of nature. A lot of these secret societies, that's exactly what they do.
Controlling is even more egoistic.
Well,
so if you're talking about control, so they want to rule, control, or do they want to do good to the world?
No, but they're taking the principles of Kabbalah that speak of a spiritual system, a very precise spiritual system, and they adopt this.
Which is what? These systems are all about bestowal, giving. Do they too have the same goal? Are they actually realizing it?
You know what? A lot of people don't know what the goal is. That's the thing. They're suspicious of their goal, but they do borrow the Sephirot, the paths. They claim the way to get to a higher state of consciousness in order to control things. They still are using the primary fundamental principles of Kabbalah, left line, right line. All of this stuff is used to control. Can it not be used to control this level of nature?
To control, it's totally wrong. And the fact that they took Kabbalah, definitions of Kabbalah like left, right, middle, and Sperot, it doesn't mean a thing.
Can I study Kabbalah in order to control others?
The question is, how, with what can you control? Or with your ego, or with an alien force which you can draw from an opposite world, from the spiritual world onto you, so it corrects you, and then you will see everything in the opposite way, in a spiritual way, if you change your nature. You can't control our world by a spiritual force. Spirituality is not about control, it's about giving, loving. Control is ego, corporeality.
So all these systems that exist in this sea of egoism, they aren't even able to control the system within the system? You need this alien force. We need something beyond us.
Yes. Yes. First of all, nothing works in our world except that force which changes us gradually and brings us closer to spirituality. And if we want to achieve that, we have to draw ourselves that force so it affects us even more powerfully, strongly. But controlling the world just like that, it's impossible. Look at history. Who's ever controlled?
Well, no, speaking of history, I mean, there is countless instances of people that claim to have secrets or secret wisdom that are in positions of power where you have running threads throughout the entire Western world that lead back to places like Babylon and ancient Mesopotamia. And these supposedly still are using the same principles, very similar principles today. I mean, could you say even something like Talmudic law, which I understand would be a Kabbalistic text?
Of course, all of our teachings come from Babylon.
Okay.
All of them. The question is, which of them is a genuine wisdom, genuine means that we can use to change ourselves and the world? Do they change anything?
Okay, now you're talking about changing yourself. And some of these secret societies do talk about building, I mean, Freemasonry's building a better man. You know, the new man, the enlightened man, the better man. But they are still using these.
How do you see that it happens to them? By what? By what force do they change themselves?
They use Freemasonry, and a lot of these systems use what they call unconscious archetypes through symbology and ritual to awaken parts of themselves that are left dormant. This is what they say, and they, again, have been throughout history very influential and very powerful. And these archetypes and symbols they use, they draw from what you're saying are Kabbalistic texts. The Torah, the Talmud.
So that's the problem.
Okay, what's the problem?
That's the problem. They're using symbols from Kabbalah,
Okay.
but only the symbols. They're not using the force that Kabbalah enables you to use, to draw from the spiritual world and through it to change human nature. And they're not using the force. They're only taking symbols from books. That's it.
But they share the same text, they share the same customs, and they share the same erroneous conclusions that they've drawn out of the same book. These all come. And everybody's got a different opinion. And they're all fighting amongst each other about their different opinions. So where's the codex? Where's the right way of looking at this book? Who has it? You say, when you look at the book, it seems different to you than it would to somebody else. How shall I rightly look at this book?